Bouchard sends it in deep. Well, he's probably thinking Father Time is coming up too. He's got a birthday coming up next week. And an awkward collision in the corner, and it's Perry late getting up, and a big drive, and Skinner got ridden right into the goalpost, and there appeared to be contact. We're going to have goaltender interference whistled against Boston. Meanwhile, awkward collision between Janmark and Perry, and I think Janmark actually the worse for the wear. But now, look at Stuart Skinner.
He hasn't really moved from that position, and Big Zadorov's the one that drove this one through. And he's a big human being. He's going to the box immediately after this. The call was made. Skinner, though, is a player that we have seen doesn't stay down like this and kind of embellish. He got rocked here. He's a guy that dusts himself off, gets up, and gets back in between the pipes. So you know that TD4s immediately recognized that he's on the ice quickly to Skinner, because he was rattled by the big man Zadorov. They're having a conversation here at the penalty boxes about this. They're going to have a little bit of a huddle. And anytime Zadorov's included in a hit, it's usually a big collision. I mean, he's a giant human being, and why the Bruins wanted to sign him, bring him in, maybe call him Chara 2.0. And this will be interesting whether or not Stuart Skinner can get up, dust himself off. If there was head contact, you have to think.
91 Boston, minor penalty, 2 minutes goaltender interference.
It's going to be a minor penalty. They did have a conversation about it.
By the way, that was Chris Rooney working his 1500th game, a local from Southie, the youngest of 11 children and the first American ever to work 1500 games. Skinner appears determined to stay in this one.
It looked like Calvin Pickard was putting his stuff on, and for TD4s, obviously he would have had that conversation with Skinner and said, listen, you have to be honest with me. Don't be messing around here, but this is the drive-through. And yeah, I'm sorry, he comes right into him. I mean, he goes right through the blue paint. You can say that he has to go around the defender, but he makes no attempt here to not blow into Stuart Skinner. Had his head down, so maybe he didn't know exactly how close he was, but that's shoulder. I mean, that's shoulder from a big guy shoulder into the head of a goaltender. And credit Stuart Skinner for getting up here. A little bit of a shove, yes, there was. But, I mean, he took a pretty hard line. He was going to be hard to get out of there. So there was a little left push on the hip of Zadorov. But once his head was down, he never looked up again. And I think they're going to make the decision. This will be the spotters. This will be the spotter taking him out here. And I think this is a good call. He may come back into this game once he goes down the tunnel, walks us off. If he's fine, he passes some tests, and he looks fine, he could come back into this game. But for right now, Calvin Pickard's between the pipes for Edmonton now.
9-4 record for Pickard, and a exact match on the save percentage. Both goaltenders 8.98.